Hi, I'm Doc Palmer. I'm the author of McGraw-Hill's best-selling reliability book, the Maintenance Planning and Scheduling Handbook. Maintenance planning and scheduling is a fundamental part of your maintenance strategy. But the concepts of planning and scheduling are strange, and most companies miss them completely. And I think around the world, people find that maintenance planning and scheduling are excellent opportunities to make a lot of people angry. But because that's weird stuff, we have an opportunity for a competitive advantage. We need to simply run planning as a Deming cycle, admitting we're not perfect, and to fully load schedules to defeat Parkinson's law. And that will make them into the best practice and give you the advantage that they should deliver. Today, we're going to continue our discussion from last week about codes, and we're going to talk about the work type codes. The most obvious work type is preventive maintenance. That would be the routine servicing or inspecting. If we find some little thing that we make an adjustment, we might just note that on the work order itself. But if we find something big enough where we want to write a work order to cover it, whether we do it right then or later, I would like to have a code connecting that. Now, you could do that with father and child and connecting work orders, but I would like to have a work order code. This is a corrective maintenance action that came from the preventive maintenance action that you did. And then the high-tech maintenance is using the vibration analysis, the infrared, the ultrasound. It's not just your senses, it's a borescoping, the new technology of RDI. To me, the PDM work type would actually be somebody doing the route, going around, bzz, 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 checking the equipment with this high-tech device. But if they find something, I would like a work type. It's a corrective maintenance action that came from that. Now, a common maintenance work type is project. And a project really is not maintaining, it's not maintenance, it's not breakdown, you're fixing something, you're actually making something better. You're not just maintaining it, you're making it, you could say, more maintainable, but it's like if you replaced all your bronze impellers with stainless steel impellers, you think that'll give you better service in the water condition that you have at your power plant. That would be a project to make something better. You have a pump that keeps getting you in trouble, you install a spare pump. That would be a project to make your system more reliable. And then everything else out of the box is reactive maintenance. You just found it. You weren't looking for it. It just surprised you. And I think if somebody tells us without looking for it, they find a little problem, I think that's good. If they find it when it's too late, that's bad. And should be some distinction. And so I tried to add a corrective maintenance work type where reactive maintenance, it's too late, you're in a reactive situation, you washed out the foundation. A corrective maintenance would be you found a little drip. We wrote a work request for it. We took care of it. You never washed out a foundation. You weren't jumping through hoops. And it's really difficult for people to pick those work types. You could have the planners correcting the work types, but we want something that's easy to pick the right thing. And so what I did, I just got rid of both of those, and I just ended up with one, just was corrective maintenance. Well, how do you know if it's a big problem or a little problem? Well, I would like to go back to the priority system, the priority codes, where 0 is an emergency, we need to deal with it now. A 1 is urgent, it really needs to be handled this week. And a 2 is routine, but it can wait till next week. A 3 is routine, but it can be done this month. And then a 4 is routine, and it could take longer than a month. It could be a little thing you don't want to forget about. It's a little trip that's just not bothering us, but we want to keep it on the list, take care of it maybe when we're out in that area or something. Those are great items to buy with work that you're going to do in that area later on. Well, these are reactive to me. These are defects in your system. And we've talked extensively about the priority system before, so we won't talk about why I like 5 levels. But the 2s, 3s, and 4s, they're proactive. You're not jumping through hoops. You don't have to do it in the middle of a rainstorm. You don't have to do it in the middle of the night. You can wait till you get the right parts for it. So to me, I would say corrective maintenance, they just found it, but they're yelling at you to fix it right away. Well, that's reactive. Or corrective maintenance, we found a little problem. This is kind of loose over here, even though it's working okay. Probably need to take care of it in a week or 2. So those are proactive. So don't get too caught up in the work tape distinguishing whether work is reactive or proactive. But that should be more on the priority system. Now, to me, predictive maintenance, if they find something, you would normally think, well, that's proactive. Well, not necessarily. If they find, say, wow, that's surprising we didn't catch that, we've got to fix that right away. Well, that's reactive. They were at a priority 0 or priority 1 for that. And my question as a manager would be, well, why didn't we find that sooner? Because we want to do proactive maintenance, keep ourselves out of trouble, where we don't have to work in the middle of the night, lose availability, take a chance on risking our unit or anything. So even if we find it on this and this, if it can't wait, it's good maintenance in that we found it, but why didn't we find it sooner? I would consider that more reactive. And then there are other things that we do in maintenance. It might be operator work. You have to change over a line to go from product A to product B. That's really an operations task. But we have more people a lot of time, personnel, and the operators, so we might help change over a line. Or let's say this could happen, I suppose. The operators operate something, they open a valve wrong, and a bunch of product goes out on the floor. And we're going to go over there and help them clean that up. Well, that's kind of operator work, and it's not maintenance, it's cleaning up a spill. And it could either be the front office calls the maintenance department, says, hey, can you send some people back here to help us move some furniture around or hang some pictures? Well, a lot of times we have the personnel to do that. So it's like other work. That's really not maintenance. And there you could include training in that, something that we would spend our time on. So by knowing what came from your preventive maintenance and what came from your predictive maintenance, what kind of project work you're doing, you can know, are we doing things to make ourselves more in control? I'm not the ultimate numbers person, but I suspect this work here, that should be about 60 or 70% of your work and stuff, doing those kind of things. Then finding little things and all that. We want to keep this work here less than 20%, and this work here, that we want to keep that less than 20%. More than 80%. Again, I'm not the ultimate numbers person, but these have to deliver. We have to free up people to do that work, the planning and scheduling. The scheduling will help us defeat Parkinson's law, so we can do more of that work and not just stand around waiting for that work. Even though we're busy, maybe not just standing around. We've got to make ourselves do this work that nobody's screaming for. And then, so looking at these helps us tell, is the preventive maintenance being done? And is it generating work? Are we doing the predictive maintenance route? Are we generating work? Are we doing things to make ourselves better? And then on the corrective maintenance, are we finding stuff? Maybe we should adjust some of this stuff. If we're finding stuff here, why are we just finding it? Maybe some stuff could be on a route or something. We're not trying to necessarily eliminate this work here, but we need to know if we're in control and how we're spending maintenance. So one reason we need these codes is to know how we're doing, how well we're controlling our maintenance force. Then we also need to know where we're spending our money. If you're spending $10 million a year, we'll just use that because it makes the math easier on your maintenance department. But $1 million a year is coming from project work, and $1 million a year is this other stuff. We're really only spending $8 million a year on maintenance, even though we're including reactive maintenance in this concept of things that are appropriate for the maintenance department to do. Now, your upper management is continually getting a call from contractors that want to do your maintenance for you. They'll call your plant manager and say, hey, how much are you spending on maintenance? And if you think you're spending $10 million a year on maintenance, you're in danger, because this contractor may say, well, if you're spending $10 million a year on maintenance, if you just get rid of everybody, we'll do it for $9 million a year. But see, they're not bidding on project work to make things better, and they're not spending it on other things that are really not maintenance. And every time you expect that contractor to do one of these or one of these things, they're going to give you a change order for that. So because now you're spending $9 million on maintenance, the change orders are going to take it up to $11 million a year. So because you didn't know where you were spending your maintenance dollars, you thought you were getting a deal, the $9 million contractor, and saving $1 million a year. But instead, you're spending an extra $1 million a year because you're going to have to pay change orders for the projects and that other stuff. So we need to understand the work types. Don't make them too complicated. I see a lot of people mix safety in there and urgent work, which is not really a work type. It's more of a priority. So don't make these too complicated. Your CMMS, you might have a lot of junk in there. It might be worth cleaning that up. But you need to know if you're doing the right kind of maintenance, and where your money's going, so you don't unwisely use a contractor. And if you're a contractor, maybe that's information you can use too. So thank you for letting me be part of your maintenance family today. You can see some more of this discussion and all the things we've been talking about in the handbook, and also on my website, palmerplanning.com. There's past articles and conference presentations I've made. So thank you for letting me be part of your maintenance family, and we'll talk to you next time about failure, cause, and action codes, and God bless for now.